Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, it's a little different version of the man with the action-packed expense account. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring the last Johnny Dollar. You've heard these episodes of the late 1962 shows, and this is one from August 26, 1962, Mandel Kramer, starring as Dollar, in an episode entitled The Gold Rush Matter.
Johnny Dollar.
Paul Keller, Johnny.
Hi, Paul.
Welcome to San Francisco. Unpacked your bags yet?
Just about to.
Well, don't. Hop over to Virginia City, Nevada.
Wait a minute, Paul. I just got here.
Virginia City, the ghost town that's no longer a ghost over on the other side of Reno. Our man there's Jake Walton.
Well, what's the problem?
The gold rush.
That was 100 years ago.
Well, there's a new one right now.
You're kidding.
And with all the same problems, including a couple of murders. So fly over there and see Jake Walton.
All right. The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer and the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Greater Southwest Insurance Company, Home Office, San Francisco, California. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Gold Rush matter. Expense account item 1, $216 even for the flight to San Francisco and the hotel room. Item 2, $18.15 for a plane to the busy, noisy town of Reno, one of the gambling and divorce capitals of the West, as well as a business center for the mining and cattle industries. Item 3, $50 deposit on a rental car. And with the afternoon sun at my back, I drove south and east to Virginia City. Virginia City, colorful, fabulous monument to the rip-roaring days of the famous Comstock Lode, when a man's life all too often depended on how fast he could draw, on how well he could defend a rocky piece of desert land that he hoped would stretch out a vein worth millions of dollars in gold-bearing quartz or the heavy blue mud that was rich in silver. A lot of the old landmarks are still there for the tourist trade. Piper's Opera House. You pick up a key at the Bucket of Blood Saloon. The Crystal Bar. The territorial enterprise that carried the writings of Mark Twain. The gambling halls where instead of money on the tables, it was gold dust and nuggets. And on dark nights, I've been told, you can see the ghosts of the Bonanza Kings pacing the streets. Fair, Flood, and O'Brien. Mills, Gould, and McKay. A grizzled old character sitting on a rocker in front of the Bucket of Blood didn't even look up when I asked him directions.
Well, son, Jake Walton's office is right there across the street, other side of the newspaper.
Hmm? Oh, yes, I see it now. Thank you very much.
But he ain't there.
Oh, I see. You don't happen to know where I can find him, do you?
Oh, I know where he is, all right, but I wouldn't go there, son. Not if I was you.
Why not?
Well, him and the sheriff, they're out to the Scarlet Queen. That's a gold mine.
The Scarlet Queen?
Yeah, about halfway up 6 Mile Canyon over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wagon track up to the pass.
Can I navigate that wagon road in my car?
That's a pretty new car you got there. Real pretty. No, sir. Take a horse or a burro unless you got 4-wheel drive.
Where can I get hold of a horse?
Jake Bakley's stable down the end of the street. But, don't you go to that mine.
Why not?
Well, there's been another killing out there, like there's going to be more of them. More dynamite accidents. Like the one that done this to me.
Did what to you?
Didn't notice, eh? I'm blind.
At Judd Blakely's stable, after a lot of argument that I should stay away from the Scarlet Queen, I finally got hold of a horse by forking over a $200 deposit. Then I headed up into 6 Mile Canyon. A couple of miles later, I found the old wagon road to the mine. It was crooked and steep, and there was a narrow pass to go through at the top. But from the pass, when I let the horse stop there for a breather, I could see the mine below me. There were 2 or 3 weather-beaten shacks right next to a platform with tracks on it that led into a hole in the sheer face of a cliff. A couple of jeeps and a beat-up old high-wheeled truck stood in front of the line of shacks. And a group of men were hauling a body out of an ore car to load it onto a truck. Whoops. I got off the horse and over behind a big boulder and nothing flat. Gunshot and come from my left, and were still coming, and from someplace and somebody I couldn't see. The next one, the horse took off. Say, I felt a little alone and a little helpless at that moment. It's the understatement of the week. With a twig of mesquite, I raised my hat above the protection of the boulder, hoping to draw another shot to get a better idea where to start shooting myself. Nothing happened. Slowly, cautiously, then I worked around to the far edge of the boulder and carefully looked around the edge of it. Holy, that was in back of me.
Don't move, stranger.
What?
You swing that gun of yours around this way and you're going to be real dead.
Well...
Mister, you drop that little lemon squeezer you got in your hand, then up on your feet and turn around and face that rock.
All right. Why not?
Go on. Turn around. Face up to that rock with your feet apart. You put your hands up on it.
You have the gun.
Higher. Get those hands up higher. You make one move, I pull this trigger.
You're the boss.
You're darn right I am. Okay, Jake.
Jake?
Looks like you got him, Leona.
It's a city man. Told you it wasn't nobody from around the Comstock.
Looks like you're right, Leona, huh?
So watch him, Jake, huh? Real careful. He may be a tricky one.
You got a good point there, Leona. So's just to make sure he don't try any tricks.
And they tell me things out Virginia City way aren't that much different today. I jest, but yeah, I don't know. August 26, 1962. Mandel Kramer is yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medi-Share for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medi-Share's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medi-Share is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. At this point in time, there was about a month left, maybe 5 more shows of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, to happen when this episode was originally broadcast on Sunday, August 26, 1962. But the shows were still good. Didn't always make a lot of sense sometimes, but they were good and well-produced shows. This one, The Gold Rush Matter, August 26, 1962.
I saw Jake start to throw that punch, and when you know it's coming in from where you roll the punch, and I rolled, and I turned and took him with me, and together we rolled on the ground. I grabbed for the legs of the girl, and down she came. Then I managed to grab a wrist, a handful of blonde hair with the man's head under my arm with all the pressure I could put on it.
No, stop. I give up.
Please, mister, okay.
Please, I give up.
Me too.
Okay. All right, now, I've got the rifle.
Now, don't worry, mister. Don't worry.
And you got a lot of muscle for a city man.
You now.
Yes, sir.
Pick up that handgun of mine by the barrel with your fingers and bring it over here.
Yeah,
Like it says, Jake.
Yeah, okay.
By the barrel now, and be careful.
Here on, mister, here.
Jake, huh?
Yes, sir. Jake Walton.
What?
And this here is Miss...
Jake Walton of Greater Southwest Insurance?
Yes, sir. Me and Miss Leona, we was only up here account of this last accident of mine.
Oh, no.
And when we see you prowling around up here, huh?
You mind telling us what you think is so gall-darn funny?
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. Look, my name is Johnny Dollar.
Dollar? Well, Leona, listen. Dollar here's the man I've been waiting for.
I don't care what... Oh, he is?
I must say, you certainly gave me a nice reception.
Well, we didn't know. We thought you were the ones been making all this trouble up here.
Oh, you did, hmm?
Yeah, that's a fact, Johnny. And listen, this one today makes the second killing there at the mine. Somebody's using dynamite at the wrong place and the wrong time.
And, Johnny, it was one of those blasts that blew my Uncle Dave out of the shaft, and he's blind now on account of it.
The blind man that I met in Virginia City in front of the bucket of blood?
Yes, sir, Johnny. Dave Halver.
That's what brought me here, Johnny, from off my dad's ranch to see if I could help him and help find out who's doing all of this. And when Jake and I heard the shots up here, who were you shooting at, Johnny?
Hmm? Oh, just a couple of rattlesnakes I saw.
This time of year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to think I almost aimed the rifle at your head because of what I thought you were.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Yes, so am I, Johnny. This gal can shoot the eye out of a gnat. Would have killed you, sure. And I guess nobody would have blamed her much either. Knowing what's been going on and not realizing who you were, I was hoping she would hit you.
That would have been terrible.
It sure would.
Now, tell me just exactly what's been going on around here, Jake.
Yeah, well, look, I see the sheriff's leaving with Jerry's body now. So let's go down there to the mine, and I'll show you.
All right, let's go. The Scarlet Queen, named after a shady lady of the 60s, the 1860s, was a small but very old mine away from the main body of the Comstock lode, but once considered a fairly profitable maverick offshoot of it.
Now, watch your step, Johnny. There's a big vertical hole along here, and if you ever fell into it, see it there?
Yes, I see it, Jake. Just keep that lamp of yours on the ceiling and we'll be okay.
Johnny, you want to kind of give me a hand?
Sure, be glad to. Here you are.
I'm still not exactly used to being around inside of these mines.
They never did have any business opening up this one again.
Oh, why not, Jake?
It never will pay off.
Well, Uncle Dave thinks it will, and he ought to know on account of it really ought to belong to him.
Should it, Leona?
Sure, if that crooked lawyer hadn't fixed it so now it belongs to Ski Lambert.
Well, I'm not so sure that lawyer wasn't right,
So
Leona.
Uncle Dave ends up working for him until that dynamite hits him down here and blinds him.
Yeah, well, maybe it was like the New York Keystone mine, the other side of town, that started this latest gold rush now.
How do you mean?
The original shaft was sunk back in 70 by some fellas who didn't even own the property. So all the owners had to do was wait until the shaft was finished, then take over. Oh, easy now. Now we go down this ladder to the second level. You make it all right, Miss Leona?
Sure I can. You two go on ahead.
All right, now. What started this new gold rush, Jake?
Oh, talk about maybe the government raising the price of gold, I guess. A lot of the old mines may be opened up again. At least them as can mill out $30, $40 a ton or more.
I see.
Now, the last couple of rungs are missing now, so watch your step.
I'm okay. I'm on solid ground again.
Yeah, I sure be glad when we get the elevator working again, Mr. Darndle.
What's it?
Oh,
what's the matter?
oh, thank
Wow.
goodness you were here to catch me, Johnny.
Oh, anytime, Leona.
I'm afraid I'm too heavy for you.
You sure you didn't do that on purpose?
If I had, would you mind?
I was hoping you had.
Oh, now set her down, Johnny, and let's get on with this.
Would you mind your own business, Jake Walton?
There on the second level, Jake led us to a spot on the tunnel that was completely shored in with 12 by 12s.
Where an old side passage give way.
There's no rubble on the floor of the tunnel there. It looked as though it had been literally blown away, and the acrid smell of dynamite still lingered in the air.
A man would be in here working on these ties, Johnny, where they're going to lay track for some ore car.
Yeah?
And then all of a sudden, the stick of dynamite would go off. Right here, where it had no business.
First one of them killed Harry Bella. Another one blinded Uncle Dave.
And then, just before you come, young Jerry Lambert, the nephew of the owner...
Let me have that lamp a minute, Jake.
Well, sure.
Something here I want to...
Oh, that gang it busted.
Yeah? All right, that's that.
But can we find our way out of here now without a light?
Sure we can.
Jake?
Sure we can, Miss Leona, but,
Yes?
We better be mighty careful about that hole we have to skirt around up in the tunnel above.
Sure, Johnny. This road back to Virginia is a lot shorter than the one you took. A lot smoother, too.
You call this smooth?
You never been aboard a bronc, Johnny.
Well, if it's any worse than this... Look, there's the horse that I hired. Better stop and get him. He cost me a couple of $100.
Now, don't you worry none. You'll go on back to the stable. And that reminds me. Where you going to have supper and staying overnight? We got an extra bedroom, Johnny.
But so is Uncle Dave, Johnny, and I'm an awfully good cook. Huh, Johnny?
Well, that's the kind of invitation I like, Leona.
Good.
Okay. I won't try to compete with a pretty gal.
But I think I better stay with Jake.
But why?
That is, if I may borrow this Jeep for a while tonight.
Oh?
Well, sure, anything you want, but why?
Just a little idea I have.
Then later?
Yeah. Later, Leona. An idea? 2 or 3 of them. About who'd taken those pot shots at me out there at the pass just before Jake and Leona appeared on the scene. The shots had come from my left, the side nearest Virginia City. And that other tunnel Jake had mentioned, originally entering the mine where the dynamite had been set but now timbered off. Or was it really? That, too, was on the left, the Virginia City side. And more important, so was the shortcut. Yes, and using that shortcut this afternoon, somebody who'd seen me there in town could easily have beat me to the pass and been waiting for me. But who? And did Jake and Leona have some reason for not taking me down to the mine while the sheriff was still there?
Best darn apple pie you ever made, Martha.
Well, thank you, Jake. Have some more, Mr. Dollar?
No, thank you. I've had plenty, but it was great.
Well, then you men just run along and I'll wash up the dishes. Didn't you say you had to meet with somebody tonight, Jake?
Oh, just some of the boys over the Delta.
If I can have the keys to your Jeep then, Jake?
Oh, sure. Yeah. But wouldn't you rather use my sedan? After all, with a pretty girl like that, eh?
Well, let's say the Jeep is more romantic. Item 4, $6.80 for a powerful electric lantern and a small flashlight, just in case. Then I took off in the Jeep. Just out of the north end of town, I heard shots off in the distance. But who would be using a gun this time of night? I took the shortcut to the Scarlet Queen this time, and there I found the entrance to the side tunnel cleverly hidden under a pile of discarded roofing. And that slanting shaft was perfectly clear as far as I could see in it. I went around to the main entrance, into the tunnel there, down the ladder to the second level, and this time I looked at those heavy shoring timbers carefully. Yes, in one spot where the side tunnel would be, instead of a 12 by 12, was a little square of 1 by 12. On a hinge, a door, where somebody could throw in a stick of dynamite and kill whoever was working in there. I hung the lantern from the ceiling. Then I heard it. Somebody was coming down that side tunnel. I touched the lantern to make it swing, to look as though I were there, and moving around. Then quietly I ran back and up the ladder, but as I reached the upper level...
Well, did it get him?
Can't see yet. Not until the dust clears down here, but must have got him.
And come on, let's get back to town. Let somebody find him there in the morning.
Leona and the old man. That's all I need to know.
You just wait till they get all those mines working. This town will bust out all over again. You see that word about the privilege here, well, you know what I heard? I heard they're going to open up a line on D Street again. Whoop. You, Dominic, another couple of beers over here.
Over at McBride's for daytime now, boys.
Anybody seen King Johnny since he took off his whiskey? Don't look at it.
Well, what are you doing here, Johnny? I thought you had a date tonight.
Well, I did of a sort. I take it you've been here all evening, Jake.
Sure have. Haven't I, Ed?
I thought so.
You will have a beer?
No. Come on, Jake. We have a job to do.
The job?
You borrow a length of rope and a gun from somebody?
Got a piece of rope in the back of my car. And also a 30-30.
All right, then. Come on.
I still can't believe it, Johnny.
And you'll have to see for yourself, Jake. Just be sure you do exactly as I say.
Okay, Johnny, okay.
Keep the engine idling to cover any sounds you might make.
Right.
August 26, 1962, yours truly, Johnny Dollar on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Veterinary telemedicine is booming. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Teller, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, and I know firsthand that telehealth is a valuable tool to help provide our precious pets with the healthcare they need and deserve. Here are some situations where telemedicine may be an option for you and your pet. If the veterinarian has seen your pet in person in the past. If you're not sure you need to schedule an in-person visit. If your pet had surgery and needs post-operative follow-up. For skin diseases and rash rechecks. When your veterinarian needs to monitor your pet's chronic problems such as diabetes or allergies. If there are behavioral issues or training challenges, or for hospice care. It's always good to have your session in a quiet place with good lighting. If you're not sure if you should set up a telehealth session, call your veterinarian and they'll let you know. To learn more, check out avma.org/telehealth. avma.org/telehealth. Veterinary telemedicine is booming. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Teller, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, and I know firsthand that telehealth is a valuable tool to help provide our precious pets with the healthcare they need and deserve. Here are some situations where telemedicine may be an option for you and your pet. If the veterinarian has seen your pet in person in the past. If you're not sure you need to schedule an in-person visit. If your pet had surgery and needs post-operative follow-up. For skin diseases and rash rechecks. When your veterinarian needs to monitor your pet's chronic problems such as diabetes or allergies. If there are behavioral issues or training challenges, or for hospice care. It's always good to have your session in a quiet place with good lighting. If you're not sure if you should set up a telehealth session, call your veterinarian and they'll let you know. To learn more, check out avma.org/telehealth. avma.org/telehealth.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Mandel Kramer. This was originally broadcast August 26, 1962.
Yes. Johnny.
Hi, Leona.
Well, I was kind of hoping you'd drop around tonight. Well, come in.
Who is it, Leona?
A friend of mine. Johnny Dollar, Uncle Dave.
Well, how are you, Mr. Dollar? Why, you're the young fella who asked me directions this afternoon. I can tell by the voice.
That's right.
I'll go in the kitchen and fix up a drink. Sit down, Johnny. Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, sure, boy. Sit down. And what do you think of this lively little town of ours now, eh?
As I stood there in front of
tourists
him,
these days,
casually,
but
as though I was
you
simply
wait
going
till
to
the
toy with it and move it from
mines
one
here
pocket
get
to
work
another, I
again.
drew out my
That is, if the
38.
government starts paying
And as
more
I did, he
tolls,
slowly, almost
well,
imperceptibly,
well,
started moving his hand toward a drawer in the table he was sitting beside. Nor did he raise his head toward
Johnny,
me.
you do what I said and stay away from the Scarlet Queen mine this afternoon.
No, I went on up there, Mr. Halvin.
You did, huh? Shouldn't I?
Because of what you said.
Oh?
About your blindness.
Yeah?
Yes. But a minute before you told me about it, you noticed I was driving a brand new car because you saw that I was. And that's what told me the blind act was a phony to back up your tale that you were dynamited at the mine you wanted for yourself by hook or crook. And your next victim would have been Skeet Lambert, the owner.
Yeah?
Don't reach for that drawer.
Okay. Dollar.
He doesn't need to, Johnny. Don't move.
He doesn't,
No. Because I got this one.
And me, Leona?
Yes.
Well, this gun's aimed straight at your head.
Then if you are... Oh, my hand! You broke my hand!
Sorry, Leona, you should have known better. Jake, you want to come inside and call the sheriff? I don't know whether Leona was actually involved in the murders in the mine or not. I hope not, because she was a doll. Then, sometimes, they're the most dangerous kind. Anyhow, it'll be up to the courts again to figure it out. Expense account total, including the way back home to Hartford. Call it $700 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Cliff Owen, Reynold Osborne, Terry Keane, Leon Janney, Rosemary Rice, and Sam Raskin. Music supervision by Gene Sines. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. Technical direction, Michael Schottkus. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Stuart Metz speaking.
There would only be 5 more episodes of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar produced. Mandel Kramer would play all of them. And, of course, on the 30th of September, we always play both of those shows, both Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, and Suspense, kind of as the send-off for the shows. August 26th, 1962, Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Just want to take a moment to thank our friend Ted over at RadioMemories.com. He has provided us with a lot of great old-time radio shows that we did not have in our collection. And he supplied us a lot, including these 1962 episodes of Suspense and Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, that we're able to bring you. And I hope you will visit Ted over at RadioMemories.com. He has a lot of great shows on cassette, CD, or on flash drive for your computer. RadioMemories.com, and we wish him all the best. He has been having some health problems lately, but hope you will remember him in your prayers. Now, let's move on. Soap opera, and of course, Claudia, which definitely is a soap opera a cut above the rest. And maybe it's because Coca-Cola sponsored the show that the shows were not of the same bittersweet nature as so many of the other shows were. But I love Claudia just for that reason. It's a simple, sweet show that was very family-friendly. August 26th, 1948, Claudia.
And now, Claudia.
David, are my eyes open?
Yeah, somewhat.
Such an effort. It's like pulling up Venetian blinds that are stuck.
Too much nightlife, young woman.
I don't care how sleepy I am this morning. Coney Island was an inspiration last night, darling.
Do your bones ache?
How'd you know?
Oh, I knew.
Every last one of them. I can hardly bend over to tie my shoes. Oh, I creak.
Sissy.
It's all the baby's fault, too.
Oh.
If I hadn't been having to be quiet having him all summer, my bones would be in much more agile condition.
Yeah, that's right. Blame the poor, helpless little baby for the normal effects of old age. Think you'll be able to sit down for breakfast, or do you want to go back to bed?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to get back into bed. Besides, I'm starving.
After all the frankfurters and ice cream
That
you
was
ate?
last night. This is this morning. I developed a furious appetite, in case you're interested. Listen to our rooster. He's in very good voice this morning.
We ought to give him a watch for Christmas. He starts crowing much too early.
Sun rises early. I love summer.
You better love it while you can. There are just a couple more days in August.
Is that all?
A week from Monday's Labor Day.
Already? Oh, no, it can't be.
All right, then. It can't be if you'd rather.
David, that means the summer's almost over.
Exactly.
I can't bear it.
You'd be surprised.
Why didn't you tell me sooner
Tell you what.
about Labor Day?
What would you have done about it?
I would have grabbed the bull by the horns, that's what.
I don't like to seem thick, but which particular bull have you in mind?
That settles it.
Claudia, I am hanging on to my teeth, but you've left me way behind. Just what are you talking about?
Summer, to think it's almost gone.
Well, that's life.
Summer's so fast and winter's so slow. I've let it trickle through my fingers like water. Oh, David, our first summer in Eastbrook, and it's almost over.
Well, we'll have others.
They won't be the first.
So there'll be the second and the third and the fourth.
You have no soul, Mr. Norton.
But I do have a stomach, and it wants breakfast.
I'm ready.
Think your creaky joints can navigate the creaky stairs?
David, listen, if it rains one drop between now and fall, if it rains one day during your vacation,
What do you do besides wear a raincoat?
A pine away, that's what. Summer really goes so fast. There's time for nothing to do but try to realize it.
Now you're learning about life.
Mrs. Norton, oh, good morning.
Bertha, isn't it a beautiful day?
Morning, Bertha.
Good morning, Mr. Norton. Yeah, it is a beautiful day. But it is beautiful up here, even when it rains.
And Bertha has learned even more about life.
Mrs. Norton, I have a message for you.
From who?
Well,
who?
I have his name written down. He called so many times last night while you were out.
I wonder who it could be.
He says, very important, you should telephone him early this morning.
This is getting very exciting.
Oh, he was excited too, I think.
Ooh.
I told him he must wait until this morning. He did not like that.
I think there's some mysterious stranger in your life that I know nothing of, Mrs. Norton.
There is, but I know nothing of either, Mr. Norton.
Now, you sit down to breakfast, and I look for the paper with his name on.
Exciting, isn't it?
Oh, thrilling.
Where did I put it?
A man. Who could it be? Fuller Brush Man.
No.
Pass me the cream, will you, darling?
Yeah.
What man would be calling you up in the middle of the night?
David, you're more curious than I am.
I should be. I'm your husband.
Is that what you are? How sweet of you to remind me. I'd almost forgotten.
The name...
Want some cream, husband?
It was the name... it was a very curious name. Mr. Jam...
Oh, that's a very attractive name, Jam. I like
Jam who, or should I say what kind of jam?
I wonder how many jams I know.
Apple jam, peach jam, huckleberry jam, boysenberry jam, gooseberry jam, and pajamas.
There was something more to it. Varnish.
Varnish?
Varnish, yeah. Varney. Yeah, that is
Varnish,
it. He says you should call him. Yeah.
Jam Varnish.
Yeah.
Well, for Jim Varney, that was pretty close, Bertha.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Now, I go get the coffee.
Tell me what, David?
I told you the other night when we met him at his summer theater, he'd be after you.
Oh, nonsense. He probably wants to invite you out to lunch with him or something.
That's not the way it looks from where I sit.
David, take that funny look off your face.
Well, aren't you going to call him?
What for?
Find out what he wants so anxiously.
Who cares what he wants? Not I, certainly.
Well, I care.
You're so curious all of a sudden.
You bet I am. Predatory men calling up my wife?
Oh, David, I love it when you act like a husband.
Then do as I say and call him up.
I haven't got time to call up people I'm not interested in what they have to say. Summer's almost over.
All right then. Don't call him up.
I suppose it would be rude not to.
You don't mind being rude, do you?
Oh, all right, I'll call him. Just for you.
Yeah, of course. Just for me.
Coffee will get hard, the eggs will get cold, and everything. Jim Varney's sort of nice, isn't he?
Not bad if you like the type.
Do you?
It is difficult for me to judge what he must seem like to a woman.
Oh. Well, I can't tell about him either. I'm a wife.
But if he has any ideas...
What kind, David?
You skip it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Excuse me, is Mr. Varnish there? I mean, Mr. Varnish?
Mr. Jam Varnish.
Who's calling him?
It's Mrs. David Norton.
Oh, hello, honey. This is Jim.
You called me last night, Mr. Varney.
Well, at least 10 times.
10 times?
How would you like to come over to the theater this morning?
Dear. Well, I'm sort of busy.
Sure, I know you are. You've got a baby.
That isn't what I meant, Mr. Varney.
Well, you're not too busy to play a part in my next play, are you?
What did you say?
I say that I've got a part for you in my next play.
I thought that's what you said.
A sweetheart of a part, too.
What's he saying, darling?
He's got a sweetheart, David.
What?
I mean for me.
Well, maybe I'd better talk to him.
Hello? Hello?
I'm still here, Mr. Varney. David, don't go away.
So that's it.
What did you say, honey?
I haven't said anything yet.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The girl I had in the part called this morning and said she was sick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
She said she thought she'd be all right in a few days, but when I remembered that you lived right around the corner, I told her not to bother recuperating so fast. So how about it?
It's awfully sweet of you to think of me, Mr. Varney, but...
Call me Jim.
It's still awfully sweet of you, but I,
What's sweet of him?
David, I'll tell you. Just be quiet.
Yes, honey, I can't hear you.
I don't think I really could, Jim.
Oh, it's Jim, is
Look,
it?
I know last June I said thumbs down when you wanted to work in my theater, but... Well, if you're doing this just to get even with me...
I'm not that kind of a girl.
Claudia, what is he suggesting?
It's not what you think, David.
Come on now, say you will, honey. Just as a favor to me.
I can't, Mr. Varney. Next week is David's vacation, and besides, summer's almost over.
Oh, we're back to that again.
Exactly,
Let's go around.
so this is the last chance you'll get.
Jim, thank you ever so much for thinking of me, but I'm afraid my answer is no.
No what?
David, you're worse than I am. Go away.
Well, you really mean no?
I think so. I appreciate your calling.
When you say no to a man, apologies don't help.
Shut up.
What was that, honey?
I wasn't talking to you, Jim. It's just to a nuisance around here. That's you, David.
I'm Mr. Varnish.
Claudia, if you change your mind in the next hour, call me, huh? I won't call anybody until I hear from you.
Thanks, but that's not necessary, Jim.
So long, honey, and my best to your husband.
Honestly, I never heard anyone behave the way you do. He sent you his regards, David.
Great.
Let's have breakfast,
Sure, I'm ready.
All the things I never dreamed this would happen. If it did, I never thought I'd say what I did. David, don't you want to know what happened?
Only if you want to tell me.
Of course I want to tell you, Dope. You'd never guess.
Good, that saves me trying.
You are looking at an actress, Mr. Norton.
I am?
At least one who could have been one if she'd said yes instead of no.
Yes to what?
Don't look so suspicious. Jim Varney offered me a part. A sweetheart of a part opening on Labor Day night.
And you said no?
You heard me?
Well, why on earth did you refuse?
Because I wanted to.
You wanted not to be in a play?
What's so surprising about that?
Well, I thought the greatest dream of your life was to be another Catherine Cornell or something.
Well, that was before I knew any better.
But only a couple of months ago you were saying...
Couple of months. Can be a long time.
Well, not that long. What's got into you?
The summer's nearly over, David. I can't waste it pretending I'm somebody else. There isn't enough time for that.
Oh.
You and I, we've got too many things to do together.
Now, darling, if you think you're doing this for me...
For us.
Call up Jim Varney, darling. Tell him you'll do it.
But David, I don't really think I want to.
Sure you do. You just think you don't. We're going to have many more summers and many more vacations to spend together.
I want them all.
Greedy?
I am greedy. For you. You said next week you were going to take your vacation. I'm not going to tie myself up while we could be having a wonderful...
Well, maybe I'd like you to. Maybe then I'd have a real vacation.
You don't mean that, do you?
Maybe I do. But what I do mean, darling, is grab your chance while it's offered to you. Someday you might be sorry you didn't.
I doubt it. Not as long as you are... you.
Look, you know, I'd rather spend every minute of my vacation with you rather than anybody else or doing anything else. But this is different. It's important to you. It's your dream. Now, don't give it up for me.
David, you don't want to be married to an actress. You said so.
I married a woman. If she's an actress, too, well, so much the better. Then I'll retire from architecture and take care of my garden.
I wonder if I could do it.
You bet your sweet life you can.
You won't be embarrassed if I'm bad.
No, you'll be great. I know it. I'll be famous as Claudia Brown's husband.
Fat chance.
Now do it, darling. Not for me. For yourself.
There goes our summer.
The best laid plans of mice and men.
Oh, David, you're the most generous, the most understanding husband I ever married.
Now kiss me and shut up.
Even for you women who enjoy shopping, there come moments when it doesn't seem worth the effort. Moments when you want brown and they have blue. When you want to pay $30 and they ask $50. At such moments, you'll find it wise as well as pleasant to pause and refresh yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola. Shop refreshed and you take new heart. You resolve to make a wise selection. And if you have to go home empty-handed, you'll go home in better spirits if you shop refreshed. Hello?
Well, Mr. King, congratulate me. This is Varney speaking.
What's up?
I just got a call from Claudia, and she said yes.
Then I do congratulate you. I think you've gotten yourself a fine little actress for the part.
Claudia's more than that. I think we're going to get along fine.
What kind of a part is it?
Well, Claudia doesn't know yet, so why should you?
Uh-oh. Well, patience is a virtue, hmm?
Well, you don't mind waiting until tomorrow to find out? Or, do you?
Oh, I do mind, but I will wait. See you then, Mr. Varney.
I'll see you, Joe.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
Sweet little friendly shows like that. Not the death and life drama that you encountered with so many of the old soap operas, but some just nice, sweet everyday life. Claudia, August 26th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at the webpage, classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. You can stream the shows on demand. You can find a list of podcast sites where you can download the shows. You can also learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me. You can find our social media links. And, of course, you can buy me a coffee. And we take that buy me a coffee money to acquire great new classic radio collections that are available from collectors. That's at classicradio.stream. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.